So you're in education, and then we meet.
Yes.
So we got to cue that up.
Yes.
Right. And then you end up working with me. How did you hear about what we do and that sort of thing, or what garnered your interest to even work with somebody like me or start investing? I know that's a loaded question, but you could break it down and, you know.
Well, actually, it was because of my son. My son was like, Mom, I've been reading books and hearing about, he says, I want an Airbnb. He said, can you figure that, find out how that works? And I said, it's just so coincidentally that I had started into real estate, really thinking of a way that not only just to make extra money, but just looking into ways to create generational wealth. So I had sat down and I had a plan. I have 4 kids. So I said, I want 4 houses and I want 10 acres of land for each kid because I want my 40 acres and a mule. And so, and being landowners ourselves and our family, my grandmother left us land. And so it was just something that I really start looking at as, what if the next generation, what if we can bring that back? What if we can bring ownership into real estate? Because that 1% has always been wealthy through the real estate, but it's something that we've never tapped into really as a people. And so I felt like if it's something that I can learn, if my kids are asking about it, then I'm going to go out and learn it. And so, and I want to be in that situation where I can employ my son. And a lot of people don't know his backstory. I won't get into all that. But when he comes home, he has employment. And I remember that day when I met you and you spoke to me about that. And you said, I want you to get established because when he comes home, he doesn't have to work for anybody but you. And then he can start his own business. He can take that out. And so that's my why. And when I met you that day and I was like, wow. And you said, you can employ your children. Wow, that's deep. Because then he never has to fill out that application or check a box, that would kind of set him back or make him feel defeated because it's already established. So I'm on a journey to get all this set up. So when he comes home, he has tailor-made innovations.
Tailor-made innovations, TMI. Y'all can clap, just. Yeah. I don't know if y'all noticed. We have a live studio audience. And we're going to keep running with that. So, yeah, you feel free. Be yourselves. Make as much noise as you like. That's fine. We're going to clap for that. We're going to clap for freedom, true freedom, wealth, and all of that. Yeah. So I want to run back to one thing. This happens oftentimes when we work with people the first time. They come in with a goal. Now, I'm not saying it's a low goal. Let's just say it's feasible or achievable. And then we put in a few months. And then we start to meet and exceed and supersede those goals. So we've been working together 2 years. Yes. The goal was 4 houses or 4 deals or whatever. In 2 years, do you mind sharing, or do you want to build it up? You want to build it up? You can build it up. Hold up, watch this, because I be talking a lot. How many deals do you have right now?
Well, one I'm just closing on. So I'm closing on a deal next week on Tuesday, and I have about 3 more that I have in the works. And so my goal is to actually close at least 6 deals by December. And
And then hold up, I think we have, here it goes, Nova's right on time. She's never late. What about this deal?
This deal? Okay, so this was a deal that a property, I never thought I would be a landlord or a property owner, but meeting HAHOMES, and encourage. But this was a deal that we closed on where taking those assets and putting them back out there, kind of like recycling it or whatever. And so I closed on that deal just last week and was able to meet an amazing buyer and taking that. And you want to know what I'm going to do with that?
Y'all want to know what you're going to do with that? Yeah. What you going to do with that? Let's go.
I'm going to buy some more.
You're going to buy some more land. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So here goes what we're going to do. First off, shout out. We got 20 people watching us live. Shout out to everybody. Geet, Ma, Yus, Iris, everybody. Rob, Peace, what's going on? Libra's twin, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have questions? Make sure y'all ask. You're more than welcome to ask any questions about the process, education, whatever. Later on in the show, we are going to have a discussion about hot button education issues because I left education for certain bureaucratic reasons, and I can't wait to share my opinions on those things. But we're getting back to Carla. So, can you share? We're competing with the TikTok generation. A lot of times, and I don't like dismiss it. I get a lot of text messages which are like, "Hey, is this true?" TikTok. "Hey, I seen this thing on Instagram. Is that true?" Whatever. I seen this thing on Facebook. So a lot of times they make it seem way easier. You get an LLC on Monday, Tuesday you go get $50,000 business credit, and you buy 20 houses, and that is not true. That being said, I want you to share one thing, maybe a misconception, something that you thought might be, or maybe a tough story, something you had to overcome as you've been on your journey, this 2-year journey with them 6 deals and the land that you have and the other acquisitions and the buying and the selling and all the stuff you're doing right there.
I think us as older generation, there is no misconception. I think or at least for me, I've never been one to kind of bite off because if it's too good to be true, it's probably not true. But I've been very guarded and very speculative of different people. I try to follow maybe 1 or 2 people. If I do follow TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, follow people that that have a reputation. People like UPC here, owner Regis, people that you're seeing them do the work. People like HAHOMES, like you are saying, that you're seeing them do the work, and how you are able to give information. I don't think of time when I've called you or texted you that you never gotten back with me. There's people out there in, YouTube University that if you text them, you're not going to hear back from them. You drop your fee or you pay for that course or that ebook or something that you've got to read on your own, you're not going to hear back from them. Meeting people like, my mentor and friend and a good friend in Austin, Lydia, Renee, they pick up the phone. You pick up the phone when they call and they answer questions. And so I think the one misconception is, do not get caught up in people who have 50 million followers and who are giving you a pipe dream. Because if they are so busy that they cannot answer your text or your phone call when you need help, because I came into a situation last week where I think I thought I read every book and everything information on wholesaling. We get to a situation where they only take you so far, but once you get into the actual transaction of it, I'm like, okay, oh my gosh, what do I do? I started getting nervous because I haven't gotten this far, or I haven't had that scenario. So there's nothing that can teach you. And one advice I want to give you, if there is something that you want to learn, you may have to pay for it, because a lot of times we feel like we don't want to pay somebody for the information, but be careful who you pay. See them do the work. Make sure that they're doing the work and they're producing, and then you follow, or you give, you take that course, but make sure that they are about what they're about. And I think right now with TikTok and Instagram and all the people want instant fame. They want instant fortune. And unfortunately, this generation of children that we're teaching now, educating now, they want that get rich quick thing. And it's not. Real estate is not get rich quick.
It's a marathon.
It's a marathon. And so we're so focused on the destination that we forget about the journey. We gotta play the part. We got to do the do.
100%.
Before we get to that.
You can clap. Yeah, we clap for that. And there's 2 things in there. I just want to add my 2 cents in on that. And that's one of the reasons I cap my number of clients. Because if I can't do a good job for every client, I'm not doing a good job for any client. And then I also asked you to attest to one other thing. I have one more question, and then we're going to move forward. One thing that you mentioned about like the microwave society, basically everybody wants something in 30 seconds and they're all said and done, is that I kind of have opportunities, and there are a few great people I worked with over the last few years. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do that. So this will probably be one of those shorts where I'm like, here goes the reason why I don't sell programs and why I don't do funnels, because I don't want to be attached to somewhere it's like, you want access to me, $300, and you get the book and the packet and the workshop. And And then people are like, yeah, but what do I do next?
Mhm.
And then it looks bad on me
Mhm.
because you wasted $300.
Mhm.
So I thank you for bringing that up. I thank you for sharing that, because I think that's an experience a lot of people have
Mhm.
where they feel like they're going to get everything they need and you can't. That's why coaching is so important,
Mhm.
because our conversations are different than everybody else's conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as everybody's happy with their progress, then we're all winning.
Mhm.
So again, I appreciate that. So you want to share something? I know you got to. Oh wait, can I say first off? Shout out Lydia. You can shout out who's. You can shout Lydia. Like you can say it like Lydia. First off, shout out to Lydia.
Mhm.
You signed up. We
Mhm.
had our consultation fee.
Mhm.
A couple months later, I bought 2 houses from you through Lydia.
Mhm.
We forgot about that.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yes.
So basically, you got your money back and then some.
Yeah, she kind of threw me out there in the waters and just like, say, hey, go do it. Write this up, do this. Because if you, like I say, you meet people that are, people, I keep looking at Regis because sweat equity. Hey, you got to do it. And so that first summer that I was getting into all this, I had to humble step back and drive for dollars and, working lists and making phone. Oh, I hate cold calling it, and so I found out what I loved. I found out what I was good at, what I wasn't good at. And there's just like, some of those things where you have to get out there and you have to do the work, and you have people that come along for a season, now she's like, you're good, you're good.
Right.
And so, but it's those people that come along for a season to kind of push you out there, and getting emails from you just the other day, the P&Ls and getting your budget. I was like, oh Lord, I need to go and update stuff and write it down. But it's just having those little things that if you're out there and you're trying to follow each and every person, are they reminding you to balance your books? Are they reminding you to make sure your taxes are up? Are they reminding you, make sure you meet your deadline in May? Hey, some of you have a deadline. And so having that business piece and all of that is so good, because a lot of times, can I say Black people?
You can say, yeah.
A lot of times we as Black folk, we can have a business. We know how to business, but we don't know how to business. A lot of times we fail because we don't know how to take care of the back end, the back office, where you got to have all your numbers, dress, paperwork in order, and all of that. And so I think, we have to educate ourselves on the things that are going to come back and maybe haunt us if we don't have it, dress. We can't lose. So we have to be in this business to win, but you have to do it from A to Z.
100%. I agree with that, like all day. So there's one other thing, and we got to talk about like reciprocity. Sometimes people have this approach when they meet me or when we have a conversation as if I'm supposed to know everything under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is I know what I know, and I only talk about what I know. So maybe I seem like I'm really smart or whatever, but I'm a specialist.
Mm-hmm.
But I reach out to different people because I've put people in the right position. And like my man C Webb always says, shout out to my man C Webb. He's like, it's about having the right people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
See, like you said, with the 1 million followers, I don't need 1 million followers. I'm good with my 2,000 followers because I got the right 2,000 people in my network. So those things are important. And then going back and forth with the accountability. So for all my clients, you know how y'all got that sheet, the consultation checklist as soon as you signed up? That came from a conversation with Carla and I. So Carla was like, I'm just not really clear on exactly what we're doing. And I'm like, so then there must be something I'm not doing. So we had a conversation. A week later, I had it drafted up, boom. And now everybody gets to this part of onboarding. And then I was like, well, what do I really, okay, let me put that in there. And then it made things a little bit more crystal clear. Yeah. And then another person said, blah, 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 blah. Or I had a client for 6 months that didn't do any budgeting. And I'm like, I wonder how many other people didn't do their budget. So now it's a part. So you guys make me better. And every year I plan on getting better and better because of the people that's around us. And shout out to UPCU. You know what I'm saying? We are collaborating. And if everybody's strong and if we combine, it just puts us in another level.
As far as on the personal side, Instagram, Facebook, you can find me under Carla Fears or Carla Taylor Fears on Facebook, Instagram, Carla Fears. I also have a nonprofit, Mothers for Sons. So on Instagram, you can find that. I also have a page on Facebook, Mothers for Sons. And I also have a private group, and it is by You have to answer some questions, and I do screen them. We have parents of incarcerated. Rhonda here is a member of that group, but parents of incarcerated sons and daughters, because I started Mothers for Sons as far as young men, and I'm just partial to boys, but keeping young people off the street, in the classroom, and out of jail. And so we support a lot of families here. Unfortunately, some of my former students have gotten caught up with the law. And so that's one of my heartbeats there. And our group has grown. I think we're up to almost 100 members. I think when we saw the other day, 100 members. And so it's very private, but they're all over out of Texas. And I am not a lawyer. I don't have any law degree, but I help them try to find answers when they need it. And then Tailor-Made Innovations is our family business, the real estate investment company. And you can find that also on Facebook and Instagram.
Let's go. All of those links are going to be in the description. I want to thank everybody who came out tonight for the first live show.